Let's talk about the telecom story in some more detail with Gaurav Malhotra, Executive Director at Axis Capital. Gaurav, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Thanks very much for joining us. Just the latest first, which is in the order of when the news hit the tape, which is Indus and Bharti. What does this additional 5% do from an Indus perspective and from a Bharti perspective? Because, I mean, they already own, 51%, right? So additional 5%, what does it get Bharti and what does it do for Indus?
Yeah, hi, good morning, everyone. See, nothing much, right? Because to be honest, post 50%, you are anyway consolidating Indus, right? And maybe the earlier view, see, Indus is important to Bharti from a strategic perspective. That's where most of their towers are residing, on which they have put their network. So, at a time when there was a lot of question marks on Vodafone Idea, then it was probably prudent to sort of, beef up your stake in Indus. Just as a de-risking strategy. Why they have increased that 5% now, I think so that's going to be the key question for the management, in today's call. Like you rightly said, nothing really changes between what was happening at 51% and what will happen at 56%.
All right. And you continue to remain positive on Bharti Airtel, right?
Yeah, like from a stock price, from a stock perspective, from a company perspective, there's nothing to complain, right? Okay, this we'll have to see what the reasoning is, because essentially this is sort of taking out 5,000 crores of cash, which could be given as dividends. But otherwise, the company still generated almost 15,000 crores of OCF, right? The business is doing very well. Mobile is doing well. Broadband is doing well. Enterprise is now sort of, after the calibration, has started to move back up. So on the whole, the results they were in line, but they were pretty good, solid set of results.
Right. Okay.
The street has started betting on Voda's survival right now. Would you hold your horses before there is more clarity, or would you go down that path and perhaps take a punt as well?
I would wait to see what is the structure of what is the thought process, in terms of how much is being, if at all, is being waived off, how much of it is being pushed back. So you'll have to see what are the contours of a potential sort of structure, before sort of taking a call. See, there'll be some things which will actually benefit Vodafone from a business perspective. There may be some things which actually don't benefit him as much, but maybe benefit Indus more. So we'll have to see how the whole structuring of it sort of works out.
Okay, what about Hexacom? It's much higher in comparison to the issue price. What was your reading of the numbers? Was it a little bit disappointing, actually?
To be honest, plus minus 0.5% and all, 1%, I'm not going to call it a disappointment,
okay,
or one way or the other. These businesses have become very predictable now, ex of the tariff hikes, when there'll be a step up in their ARPU and all. Plus minus things are okay. See, on the subscriber addition loss, if you see even Bharti's overall subscriber base additions have been pretty muted, right? The critical thing to note is whether the 4G subscribers are growing for both Hexacom and Bharti Airtel, which is true. At an industry level, you are not really increasing a subscriber base at an aggregate. So if someone is losing, someone is gaining. But what is more important is whether the better quality subscribers are coming to you and staying with you, and you are sort of increasing that salience. Otherwise, the results of Hexacom were pretty much in line.
All right. On the Vodafone Idea, relief, assuming that the best case scenario is playing out as per what we have, and then there is a potential fund infusion that various unconfirmed reports are talking about as well. The question is, the fund that is being quoted manages $10 billion globally, I think so. And the report is suggesting $4-5 billion in this company itself. Even if that happens, still dilution will be massive, right? Do you see a risk reward at any point of time turning favorable for Vodafone Idea? Even if we get the money, there will be a big conversion. So your take?
See, I'm not going to comment on the fund or whether they have the ability to invest or not. See, otherwise, if you see, from a business perspective, this is a business which has not really been invested now for many years, right? There was some additional investment which happened in the end of the last year, but not much. So this will require time to fix. And while you're fixing, Bharti and Jio continue to move ahead, right, in terms of their own network, in terms of their own revenue market share. So we'll have to see, one is that you are waving off. Second is how much cash is coming in. And the third is what is the pace of deployment to strengthen your network and start competing in the market more effectively. I think so. There will be a mix of three. Just one or two elements of it are not going to be sufficient from a long-term competitiveness of Vodafone Idea.
Right. And do you have in your model, a base bull bear case scenario for Vodafone? Now, has that changed after some amount of relief has come by?
See, I have not made any changes, to be honest, because we don't know what the structure is going to look like, right? Whether it's a wave off, partial, full, whether it's a pushback, say you pay me over or pay the government over 10 years, 20 years. We don't know what the structure is. So you can have n number of scenarios, to be honest.
Right. And what's the value that you ascribe to Jio, if at all they were looking at a demerger here?
So Jio, the equity value is around $135 billion in our target price of Reliance Industries.
All right.
The gross value.
Okay, Gaurav, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us and appreciate your time here on CNBC-TV18.